Kent recorded their first win of the LV County Championship summer, dramatically chasing down 411 with just 14 balls of their match with Gloucestershire at Cheltenham remaining, in spite of Brendan Nash having to retire with exhaustion on 199, which left the last two men to finish off the game. Kent had been set 411 to win in 96 overs on the last day, but they lost Sam North East to the morning's second ball as he edged Will Gidman to Mike Klinger in the gully. It was another scorching hot day in the Cotswolds, and it was going to be hard work for both teams, who had plenty to get through in the 6 hours or so that followed. After that indifferent start, Rob Key and Daniel Bell-Drummond got their heads down to see off the threat of the new ball. But with 48 runs on the board in the 14th over, Bell-Drummond chopped a delivery from Craig Miles back onto his stumps to depart for 25. Nash arrived at the crease at number 4 and immediately began to make an impact with some terrific shots. The former West Indian international began this season in great form, but has lacked consistency since then. But this was to be a wonderful day for him. He took 4 fours off 1 over from Miles, as he soon got moving to ensure that his side were never left with too much to do in terms of the run rate. He raced past Key with a whole host of boundaries, his 10th one taking him to his 50 off only 52 deliveries. Kent needed a good morning if they had any chance of chasing down such a big score, even on a pitch as good as this one, and thanks to Nash they did just that. But in the early part of the afternoon, Kent was set back when Key was unluckily strangled down the leg side off Miles. He made 42 and left with his side on 131 for 3 after 32 overs. Nash was now joined by first innings centurion Ben Harmison, and they added a further 64 runs in 16 overs. Nash clipped Tom Smith for this 6. And then he continued about his business in an untroubled manner with yet more boundaries off the left-arm spinner. Midway through the afternoon session, and it had become clear that the negotiations between the two captains on the previous day to set up this game had been absolutely spot on. Gloucestershire were perhaps slightly ahead when Harmison on 23 nicked a wide ball into the gloves of Gareth Roderick. Now the visitors were 195 for 4 at the halfway stage of the day. So they required a further 216 for the next 48 overs, but had Nash batting brilliantly. This was a rare fault shot which took him to his 3rd 100 of the summer. He needed only 119 balls for this one, that fortunate inside edge bringing him his 16th 4 to go with his 1 maximum. Yet he knew that his job was only half done. He and Darren Stevens then carried their side through to the tea break, still 4 down, and when they came back out again, their target was down to 164 from the final 39 overs. They stayed firmly in the hunt as both batsmen began to pick up the rate, perhaps just starting to take advantage of a tiring attack which had been out already for 4 hours in the energy-sapping heat. Yes, the weather was a scorcher, and so apparently was the finish of this contest going to be. Stevens was just beginning to warm to his task as he helped this delivery from Smith over the ropes for a 6. But then in the next over he gave Miles his 3rd wicket by finding the solitary slip Alex Gidman. The danger man was gone for 30 with 141 required for the last 36 and a half overs. The partnership between Stevens and Nash of 75 in just 12 had put Kent on top now, and Nash was still going on and on, passing his 150 off 159 balls. It was a quite brilliant knock from Nash, his best ever for the county, and he still maintained his concentration after being joined by Geraint Jones. It was the job of the new batsman to play around Nash, and the keeper did a good job in making 23 out of a 6-wicket stand of 55. But he then edged a wide ball from Will Gidman behind with 86 wanted. And 7 runs later, Vernon Philander was well taken by Roderick off Howell to now give Gloucestershire the slight advantage. Not that there was much in it. With 3 wickets in the tank, Kent now had 22 overs to get 79 more runs. Gloucestershire knew that they had to bowl their opposition out, but James Treadwell had other ideas. He edged his side closer to the winning line with some well-timed shots. But Nash was looking increasingly tired. He looked a little uneasy there, and soon afterwards on 199, the exhaustion got too much and he had to retire ill. It must, of course, have been bad to leave with him on that score. Then, just to add to the drama, Treadwell was bowled 2 balls later by Miles for 26, leaving it to the very last pair to get the remaining 21 runs. That pair included Charlie Shrek, a man with a career best of only 19 in 138 innings. Surely he couldn't take his side home. Well, he took them mighty close with 2 fours off Will Goodman, both nicely struck shots right off the meat of his bat. He hit a 3rd boundary off Miles, who, looking for another 5-wicket haul, then tested him out with a bouncer, but the number 11 managed to survive that to take his side within 1 boundary hit of their target. And next ball, Callum Haggett drove the bowler beautifully through the covers to finally give Kent their first win this summer at the 9th attempt. It was a wonderful effort too, on a wonderful day. Both captains should also be patted on the back for their efforts. The final margin of victory was by 2 wickets with just 14 balls of the match to spare, and the win gave Kent 21 points to Gloucestershire 6. They will be disappointed, as a win would have taken them to 3rd in the table. Instead, they are 6th, 1 place and 16 points above Kent.